Yo guys, what is going on? Savage here. Today we're going to be covering another viewer submitted gameplay. This seems to be the most popular thing on my channel, so I'm probably going to be doing this more often than none. Guys, like I always say, Warzone is an absolute nightmare, and no matter how good of a player we are at times, sometimes you just get shit on. There's nothing you can do about it. But with that being said, we can always improve our strategy. We can always become a more aggressive player, and that's why I'm here. That's what the whole purpose of this series is about. But guys, before we get into it, if you have not already, smash the subscribe button, join the wolf pack today. Also leave a like on the video. Let's get this video to 700 likes. But guys, again, in this series, I really want to focus on circle rotations. I really want to focus on what you should be doing as a player to be more aggressive and kind of get everybody out of the habit of sitting in a corner or crouch walking throughout the entire map or holding their heartbeat out, or just not even paying attention to the circle, just kind of pushing in, not rotating a certain way. These are all bad habits most players have, not even just newer players, just most players in general. But guys, without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, guys, so here we are spectating NZ party. He's landing at where I like to call titties, and he's gonna be getting some loot. Now, if you notice, guys, he's got no objectives around him. There's really not much around him at all. I always like to recommend, guys, if you're going to play solos, you have to do one of two things, right? You play for the win or you play for kills. If you're playing for kills, you got to drop somewhere hot. Airport, superstore, anywhere like that is just gonna be saturated with people. If you're not gonna play for kills, if you're not gonna play super aggro, always go for objectives. That's what you want to do. You don't want to put yourself in a position to loot this little area. Assuming he never gets in a fight, if he loots his entire compound, he still won't have enough money for a loadout. Remember, guys, loadout is your primary objective. You got to be really careful coming here this early in the game. There's going to be people at the compound behind him, which they are his, and they're shooting at him right now. If you notice on the mini map, that's how I could tell they were there. So he's getting shot at from left side of the green building. He really doesn't have much of an option here. If I were him, I would switch to the scoped LMG. It's right next to him. One, it's thermal, so you can see better. Two, it's got, well, it's a scope, so you can have a little bit more depth to what you're shooting at. He probably would have got the kill if he would have swapped to that weapon instead. Now, guys, everyone likes to loot their preferred place. A lot of people land at the same spot every time. So, I mean, if this is your preferred spot, that's fine. Don't let me critique the spots you want to land. But I will say, if you land here, it's going to be a very long time before you get your loadout if there's no objectives around. All right, so basically he's pushing across. He's just going to go super aggro. You heard glass break. Now, something you want to avoid as players is this kind of like crouch walking, let me sound whore. You guys have been playing Warzone long enough. You know damn well the sound in this game is just absolutely botched. The chance of him hearing you is probably slim. The chance of you hearing him is probably slim. I like to always maintain movement. I think movement is better than stealth in this game. I truly believe that. That's just something you need to work on. Again, crouch walking, exactly like I said in the intro. I want people to get out of the habit of crouch walking. There's no reason. Also, guys, there's a guy flying up here. I don't know if you saw that or not. But that's just something else you need to pay attention to when you're playing, is the people that are coming in. So back to crouch walking, guys. Look, crouch walking is just it's not a strat. It's not a tactic. You got to get out of the habit of crouch walking. You've got to. So basically what we have right now is our money situation's bleak. We just don't have money. We're not going to get our loadout anytime soon. And we're at a pretty hot spot. This is a real hot place to land. There's usually 5 or 6 people here. There's already 90 people left, so you've already lost out on 60 potential kills. So kill hunting is probably not going to be the main focus of this game. Again, the crouch walking. Look, if you're moving fast and efficiently through a building or the map, and you're slide canceling around corners, clearing all your corners, clearing the edges of the buildings, there's no need for this. This is just slow gameplay right here. All right, so right here, and this goes exactly what I was talking about. I want you guys to stop crouch walking. Stop crouching, you know, unless you're in a gunfight and you're using cover and you got to crouch behind the cover. There's no reason for this. You'll never see me crouch walk through a building like this for any reason. Even if I know an enemy's in there, I won't do it. The only exceptions may be clearing staircases, but the slow movement, it's not necessary. If you watch the top tier streamers, if you watch the top tier gamers, if you just watched, you know, anyone with above a 2 KD, they're usually moving fast and efficiently. I would have already blitzed through this room, cleared all the corners, slide canceled through doorways, and find out whoever's in here and hopefully kill them, right? There's just no reason for it. Now, I do agree with opening the door slowly. You don't just want to break in there. So here we are just still. I mean, he's clearing his corners. So that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad you're actually clearing the corners. That's sweet. All right, so he gets the kill. You're better off just, you know, sprinting through, practicing your movement, practicing slide canceling, busting in through doors, and getting killed a few times, but practicing it, right? And getting better at it so that you don't get killed. Then just keep crouch walking. You're putting yourself in this bubble as a crouch walker. You're putting yourself in this bubble that you're not going to break out of. until you start speeding up your gameplay, you're always going to remain in the same spot. So he got a UAV. Again, we need a loadout. I'm not against the UAV just because he's not going for objectives. He's not pushing kills. He's playing very slow and passive. This guy right here was the original guy he shot at. He has not moved yet, right? This guy right here probably won't move. This guy right here is actually moving. So, I mean, again, this is solos. This is just solos gameplay. You just got to deal with it. But what you guys notice, we're now down to 74 people. Half the server's dead, bro, and we've got 1 kill. Again, if you're trying to be a more aggressive player, if you're trying to push people, you got to go for bounties. You got to get your loadout fast, push objectives, and kill some people. All right, so these buildings right here, I always push them. I'm not gonna lie, I always push them. I die half the times. They're very hard building to push. Now look, because his blip is on the right side of this building or on the opposite side, I would do exactly what he's doing. Go to the opposite end of where his blip is. Also, you got to remember when you're clearing staircases, I understand, you know, movement and clearing it's a pain in the ass, but you want to make sure you're looking up the staircase before you turn and walk up it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if you watch him right now, he's not really watching. So right now he can get shot from the staircase above him, right? He has got they got a clear shot on him if they were up there, and he can't see anything. So again, as you're clearing buildings, if you're going around a staircase, you want to look as you're turning up it and aim up the staircase. Now, fun fact, and he's about to do it. It's a little trick right here. Jump on the ledge, jump over. I love it. I love it. Very simple, very basic. A lot of people know this already, but you got to remember there are newer players watching too that don't know that. So I want to go ahead and reiterate every single aspect of the game. I like the fact that he shot and did a little jumping with it. Again, guys, you know, bunny hopping won't always help you, but a lot of times it will. All right, so look, let's look at the map real quick. Let's try to get some strategy in here and try to tell you guys what you should be doing, right? So there are 60 people left. There's nothing around this area. Again, this is a super hot area, so if you went here for bounties, you're not going to get them anyway. At this point, assuming we were all in this position, right? What would you do? What should you do? You need to play aggressive. The problem with playing aggressive from this point is we don't have our loadout. We don't even have money. But it's like at the same time, the only thing around us is going to be flags, most wanted bounties, and actual bounties, right? It's very hard to do. This is exactly why I tell you guys it's so important to get your loadout stashed as soon as possible. Basically, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you he landed at the wrong spot. You do not want to land at a compound like this because there's not going to be much money there. Now, if should there have been an objective there, that would have been a whole different story. But if you're going to land at a compound with no objectives, make sure it's got enough buildings to where you can loot crates and you can find bags and you can get a lot of money. You know what I mean? Don't ever put yourself in a position for a slow start. You've got to maintain some sort of movement. So from this point on, what I would do is go for a bounty. I would go right here. One, you're going to be dealing with people at Superstore, so you can get fights there. Two, there's going to be people here as well. In fact, there's going to be people all in this spot. So you'll be able to get in some fights, be able to get some money off the dead bodies. You got to play aggressive. Again, crouch walking, guys. Look, I'm gonna throw this down your throats, guys. I've been doing these video series for what, 3 weeks now, and I've talked about this a lot. It's something that as players, you know, I know BRs are stressful. I get it. You know, you don't want to die. It's been a long match. You don't want to waste the 10, 20 minutes you put into it. But look, you're not going to improve as players if you're not practicing your movement. Audio is not this good, okay? It's not. You're fine. So, fortunately, the loadout has dropped near him, but don't forget, there still was a player around this area in these buildings. I think he's still there, to be honest. But we'll see. So go grab your loadout, and I would, ooh, yeah. I'm assuming there's gonna be 2 loadouts here, and that's why he's pushing. Let's see. There is 1 loadout, 2 loadouts. Bait it. You just gotta bait it. Go up to the corner. Don't crouch walk if you're fine. Go up to the corner and shoot him in the face. All right, so in this position right now, you've already hit him, so he's damaged. You already have more armor than he does. I would instantly push up with my MP7 and kill him. I wouldn't give him a second to plate up. I don't want it to be a fair fight anymore. I want to push him while he's at a disadvantage. Remember, if you didn't get hit and their plate got hit, even if you didn't break their armor, if their plate got hit, you want to push up and be aggressive and get the kill. All right, so going back to looting, right? Let's get in a position where it doesn't say shotgun in my face. All right, so going back to looting. I look at this and I tell myself, I don't need none of it. You can see everything out there. There's an MP7, there's some ammo, there's a molly, stuff you don't need. So basically, I would already go ahead and leave the vehicle, but he's going to look at each weapon individually. Maybe it's just lack of experience and not knowing what weapon is what, and you want to get a read on it, and that's fine if that's the case and you're still learning. I understand that. But just take a glance at it. You don't need to analyze every gun. If you have your loadout weapons, there's no need to even look at their guns, right? All right, so this is something else that I always preach. If you're going to sit in a window, if you're going to bait something or even fight anybody and you're in a window, don't sit with your window. Yo, he was still there. What the hell? All right, I don't know. Okay, that worked. But look, if you're going to sit in a window, guys, like he's doing right now, back away from the window. There's no reason to be up close and personal. Don't mount on the window. Don't sit there and melee and just start shooting. Step back from the window. You can still see the line of sight. Your vision's narrowed a little bit because you're stepping back, but it's a better strategy. One, it's darker in the buildings. It's harder for people to shoot into a building. You have a greater chance of getting shot in the face checking a window. That means putting your face right up against it than you do standing back, having a little bit of darkness covering you, and just not being near the window. First off, let me go ahead and say I wouldn't even be in this situation to begin with. I'd already be gone. I got 2 kills here. I got my loadout stashed. It's time to move on because there's only 39 people left to kill, and I want to get some kills. So I'd already be moving out. But because you're staying there, remember, when you're checking windows, you don't want to put yourself in a position to get shot at. Always pretend like someone's watching you. You ever get that feeling when you're running through the map that someone's watching you, you start like doing crazy shit and moving fast and getting out of there? That's what you always want to have as a mindset. You always want to pretend like someone's ADS on your face. That way, when you're running through the open, you try to maintain cover. The feeling of security is a terrible, terrible thing in a battle royale. All right, again, so basically right now you have to move to circle. It's going to be a train station area is where you're going to be at. I don't know what you're ADSing on. Again, guys, shoving it down your throats. Don't ADS unless you see somebody. There's no reason to. It's not that great of a zoom. Granted, snipers, I'm not talking to you. But if you're using a VLK or any kind of red dot or anything like that, there's no reason at all to be ADSing on places. And this right here, I can see everything. Remember, look for movement, not players. If you're looking for players, you're going to be forcing yourself to ADS. Don't look for players, look for movement. This is a perfect view. Getting a little bit more zoom's not going to help you that much. Now, if you're in the middle of a fight, whole different story. But if no one's shooting, if you're not in the fight, you're just scanning, don't ADS. Now, remember, guys, when you're navigating the map, when you're trying to get safe, slide cancel. I'm always slide canceling 24/7. Your movement speed's faster. It decreases the chance of you getting shot in the dome. From this point forward, we know the edge of the circle is right here, right? So you need to get somewhere with cover. You need to get somewhere to gatekeep. You need to get somewhere to chase down people. There's no shots going on over here. So again, there's only 32 people left. You have 4 kills. I would assume you'd want more kills. So start going for bounties. Remember, guys, objectives are your friend. Whether you want to play slow and passive for the win, whether you want to play full on aggro for kills, utilize objectives, guys. Because like right now, what's gonna happen? Well, yeah, don't do this, guys, for sure. Again, ADSing. He's gonna get shot in the head eventually. It's gonna happen. But look, oh, there it is. But look where his position's at, right? So basically, he's got train station on his right, hotel on his left. So if he was to get in a fight with this guy, there's a high probability he's gonna get shot from one of these directions. Not to mention, you have police station down here on this side of the map. You've got all these other buildings down here. You've got those 4 long buildings down here. There's so many angles you can get shot from. This is a no-no area. And he bails out. I love it. Get out of here. Your position's compromised. It's time to dip, brother. He's heading to a buy station. Look, if you're playing slow and passive, not a bad idea. Get a UAV up in there and go for kills, right? But look, if you want to play fast and aggressive, grab this bounty on the way to the buy station. Once you have the bounty, go to the buy a UAV, and then hunt them down. Here we go. All right. He's going for the all right. I like that he marked it so he knows what floor it's on. Another strategy that I put out in one of my videos. Make sure you guys are doing that. I do it every time. If you're trying to go for an objective in a multi-story building, mark it on the map and it will display for you what floor it is on. All right. So he's on enemy UAV. He's going to buy a UAV. From this point forward, I know it's probably gonna be tempting to go to the edge of the circle. You want to push the bounty. He's going to the edge of the circle. I get the play. I do. But remember, you have a UAV in the air. You have a UAV in the air, And you have 4 targets over here. You can't see them anymore because we moved a little bit, but there's 2 more back here and there's 2 right here. So basically what's happening right now is you're moving to an area to gatekeep, which is cool. However, circle's not coming in for 37 seconds, right? And then circle's probably going to take about 60 to 75 seconds to actually close in because it's a pretty slow circle. What that means is your UAV is going to be gone by the time that these guys push. So if your play was to play the edge, get in this building, that's fine. I'm for that. If you want to play passive and get the win, right? If you want to gatekeep, I'm fine with that. And what I would do is wait for the circle to push into probably right about here and then pop the UAV. 1, this building right here only has 1 way up and 1 way down. So as long as you're watching it, you're pretty safe. 2, utilize the UAV to where it benefits you. Don't just call it and waste it, because that's kind of what's happening. Unless you push this guy, it's been wasted. It's just been wasted. So again, if you're playing slow and passive, sit on this building, wait for the circle, wait for the actual red to push about right here, and then call the UAV in. And then you could potentially get 4 kills. However, you've wasted it now. These guys are going to kill each other off, and by the time that they come, you might get 1, maybe 2 of them. Also, there's 2.5 minutes left on the bounty. He should still have the bounty activated by the time he gets close to you, so that's not too much of a loss there. But the further you move away from the edge of the circle, the more time he's got. All right, at this point, I'm really not sure what his plan is, and that's what scares me. He called in a bounty. I was excited about that, then bailed on the bounty, right? Then he got to the edge of the circle to gatekeep, got excited about that, and then he left the edge of the circle to gatekeep. You have a bounty activated, use it, man, use it. If there's 2 or 3 people next to him, don't let that deter you from fighting. Remember, how are you going to become a better player if you're not practicing fights? Put yourself in positions to learn like how to navigate buildings and how to rotate on people and how to fight multiple people at the same time. You need to put yourself in positions like that instead of avoiding them. Again, so where he's at right now, he can get shot from anywhere over here, or the team up behind him can look down and shoot him if there is a team up there, assuming there's a team up there. But again, when I play the game, I'm always paranoid. All right, so as far as this guy's concerned, I wouldn't even worry about the vehicle. Oh, now I would worry about the vehicle because the dude just got out and he might be right above you. Granted, he probably ran to the building. That's what I would do. All right, so the vehicle got out literally 20 feet away from him. He's got the high ground and a building. Granted, he's probably in the building and he has no idea that you're there, but you need to at least look, right? You need to at least look. Again, the lobbies that a lot of us play in, you'd already be dead at this point. You got to look where the enemies are at. So whether you're navigating from point to point, whether you saw an enemy there or not, as you're running from building to building, scan around you. You have to scan around you. All right, so he marks the building the guy's in. I like that. I always try to utilize my pings to mark people. That way, if I'm fighting multiples, after the fight's done with one, I can move on to the next one. Now, if you're going to ping it where an enemy's location is, fight. If you know where a guy's at, why not push him? Why not be aggressive? Because right now, the position that we're in, there's a guy right here, there's a guy right here, and there's another guy just pulled up to this compound as well. You are between, quote unquote, sandwich between 2 teams. Now, they don't know you're there, so that's a whole different story, but why put yourself in this position? What happens if you do get in a fight with somebody right here? Then what? Then this guy is going to peek down and shoot you. Remember, I like the fact that you're marking with pings, but that doesn't do anything for you unless you actually go for the push. So right now, we're in the middle of the open. We still have our pistol out, and we're prone. One thing I will tell you, never prone, ever, unless you're getting shot at and you need to prone behind cover. There is no reason for it. You won't see any top tier players do it. You won't see any intermediate players do it. If you want to get better, stop crouching and stop proning. So look, so in this position right here, I understand going prone and checking that. I'm fine with that. But again, quick glance and then up. Why? Because you're vulnerable all over. The doorway you just came in, or the little gateway, you can get shot in the back, right? That entire, well, you can't point and you can't see it. This entire hill over here and the entirety to your left side has angle on you as well. So if there was an enemy there, you're going to get shot. All right, so at this point, he wants to go to the buy station. I would go ahead and grab whatever I needed, which you don't need anything. You've already got full plates. You've got full ammo. You've got an ammo box. You're ready to go. If you want to go buy, go buy. I would grab that vehicle and drive the buy station. However, this guy up here spotted him first. Now, the problem with this fight is the enemy has got the high ground and this huge hill he can rotate on. The chance of him staying in the same spot is very slim. The chance of him pushing, very, very high. That's exactly what's happening. This is a very aggressive player that he's fighting against. So to rewind this fight and kind of throw myself in the situation, right? So basically right now, the vehicle pop-up minimap, I know it's on the hill. I know it's coming for me. I would go ahead and start making my position. What would I do? I would position myself behind the second trailer. I would position myself between the two trailers. If you sit on the wall, there's not much cover from this hill. He's going to be able to shoot you. He's going to be able to throw grenades at you. He's going to be able to flank you. He can run down at any angle and vault over a wall and just shoot on you. So you need to create separation. If you create separation and distance, he's going to have to be more accurate. You're not up close and personal. He won't be able to Kobe, thermite, grenade, C4, things like that. He's going to have to figure out something and push closer. Make him push you in this position. If you are at this wall, again, he throws one thing, a concussion, a stun, anything, a C4, you're now cracked or disoriented. And guess what? He's going to push. While you're plating, while you're freaking out because you're stunned, he's going to push you. And when he pushes you, where's he going to come from? Anywhere. He's got this entire wall. He could vault over the front, vault over the back. He could vault over right next to you and just shoot down on you. Doesn't matter. He can do whatever he wants. Sky is the limit. So get away from the wall, force him to hop over the wall to push you, and then shoot him as he leaves his cover. All right, so we're going back to the same area. We're going to try to contest this guy and get our stuff back. All right, so we see the vehicle right here. He's driving away. So I would go ahead. This guy, you know, he was a decent player. So definitely want to make sure he's nowhere around you as you land in. Now you got to pay attention to the vehicle. He's getting shot at right now. He hopped out of the vehicle. So grab your loot and instantly engage him. Third party, this son of a bitch. Don't give him a chance to come back and do to you what he just did to you. Played up, that's fine. Now look, he's back in the vehicle. Again, play aggressive, play for shots. You can loot after you fight. Don't let this man come back in here and do exactly what he did. Don't give him the option. He just got out of his vehicle and he's in the middle of a fight. This is the perfect opportunity to make a play. Again, guys, this game is about movement. You laying prone, you crouch walking, it's not going to benefit you any way, shape, or form. When you go prone, what happens to your body? You make it vulnerable, right? What happens if you get shot at? Can you just instantly sprint away? No, you've actually got to, your character has to do the animation of standing up and then move. You know how fast you die in this game. Why would you put yourself in a position where you had to do some long ass animation of standing up? I know it sounds crazy like Savage. Standing up didn't take that long, but trust me, every time I shoot someone prone, they start to stand up and they're dead before they can get up. You're putting yourself in a very bad position. Look, we've got the high ground right here. This is where I would be at. Thinking from a strategic standpoint, you want the high ground. I don't know where the circle's at right now. I don't know which way it's rotating, but I know I want the high ground. This compound right here, stop putting yourself in this. Stop gating yourself in this. You can come here, shit on some people, and then leave. You do not want to overstay your welcome.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Okay, so let's look at this circle for a second. This is probably one of the most important tips that I'm going to give you in this video. And this is something that I really need to focus on this entire series throughout the entire year. Circle positioning in game. I get messages all the time, Savage, what do I do in this circle? What do I do in this circle? It's all situational based, right? But this circle right here is a perfect example of what to do and what not to do. Now, we can predict where this next circle is going to go all we want. Let's just assume that this circle is our immediate threat because it is, right? What spot would you guys think would be the best spot? Think about it for a second. Maybe my answer will mind blow you. Not for aggression. Take aggression out of it. We're not playing aggressive this gameplay. We're playing slow and passive for the win, right? Which is nothing against you. Play like that if you want. If that's how you choose to play, cool. If you look at this circle, no matter where you were at on the map, where would your prime place be? Right here. Right here. Many reasons. Well, one, you definitely want to go over here. It's an open field of nothingness and it's going to shift the other way for sure, right? No cover, don't go there. Same thing right here. That's just a given. No cover, don't go there. You want the high ground. This is the highest ground. This is the highest point. There's a little bit of trees up there. There's a lot of cover. You should be fine. So a lot of you guys are like, Savage, what about the buildings? You can get a lot of kills there. You can get some loot. Like, why not to go here? Well, think from a strategic standpoint. I, in my head, want to plan out for the next two scenarios. If the circle goes over here, I want to plan for that. If the circle goes over here, I want to plan for that. Now, this area benefits both rotations. Why? Let's imagine we're over in this compound. What happens if the circle shifts this way? What do you have to do? You have to leave hard cover, right? You have to leave hard. There's nothing there. There's nothing right here. Nothing. So you have to run across and try to get safe to circle. There's gonna be a whole compound to gatekeep you. There's probably gonna be people at, right? There's probably gonna be someone on the hill, and there's probably gonna be somebody out here in the compound. So as you're trying to get safe, you run the risk of getting shot from the compound you were just in, so from behind. Then the dude's gatekeeping you, and the guys on the high ground. That doesn't seem like a good idea for me, right? Granted, if the circle shifts this way, you're set. Hell yeah, right? That's not how I like to look at it. I want to get the best play of both scenarios. So if you're over here and the circle rotates here, of course you're safe. We won't cover that. But if you're on the high ground, the circle rotates this way. Well, Savage, you have to leave cover as well. What do you mean? It's the same distance. Savage, you're crazy. You're insane. You're shit. Washed up. Give it up. No, hell no. Look, you're the high ground. You already know if there's people at this compound or not. And if there is, you've already either A, already killed them, or B, you have an easy way to push them, right? Let's think about the fight we just took place in. The guy on the high ground had a pure advantage, right? That's exactly what it is, your pure advantage. So even if there was a guy in this compound you needed to fight, you have a perfect place to push them, perfect angle to push them. But then after that, even if the circle is not covering this compound, even the circle is just like this little place right here, remember, there's still 8 people left. There's gonna be more people in these compounds. So what I would do is I would work my way off this hill to this compound. And when I started hearing fighting, when I started hearing people shoot, being occupied with each other, that's when I would make my move across to safety. So basically, long story short, this side, this high ground favors both endings, both rotations. Even if the circle comes down here, again, you have a lot of open space. You don't have much open space. There's a lot of trees, there's hills, there's ridges, there's a little shack down here. You could do so much with this area. This right here is your best bet. However, with saying that, him being directly center of the circle is not a good play from, again, a strategic standpoint. If there is another guy on this hill, I definitely would not sit in the compound. Again, I would grab the hill. Luckily, a loadout dropped in front of him, so he's going to go grab that, which gives him the high ground position. Now, notice all the trees, all the ridges, all the cover. This is a strategist's dream when it comes to battle royales, man. We love this shit, dude. There's so many places you can fight and duck and relocate and fight again and just change your angles. And now, again, laying prone puts you at a disadvantage. It looks like you're in grass to you, but you're not. If a guy's looking at you, he's going to see everything. So guys, stop laying prone. Stop it. Unless you're getting shot at and need to crouch behind a rock or go prone behind a rock, there's no reason to ever go prone. So basically right now with the circle closing in, people will be moving. People will be relocating. What I would be doing in this situation, I would be clearing out this entire thing. I wouldn't be sitting on the edge. I would go to the red. I would move in with it and make sure no one comes up from behind me. 2, I would be scanning everything. I'd be peeking. Don't let yourself be vulnerable for a second. If you pop up and just kind of look around and pop back down like a gopher, you're fine. The chance of being seen is very, very slim with only 6 people left, 5 enemies. So you want to make sure you're keeping visual on everything else. You have the high ground. In this position, you have the high ground. You need to put visual on everything. That way you can pre-plan. Remember the video I put out a couple days ago where we were spectating my dude Kimsey, and he was on the rooftop and he didn't peek out in the final circle. So he had no idea how to pre-plan and no idea how to route himself, and he ended up getting killed for it. This is another example. The problem with this is everyone's going to want to come here. Everyone's going to want to come here. There's going to be one guy. It's like, hell yeah, I'm playing this building on the edge. Screw it. But you have 4 other enemies that are wanting this spot as well. So from this point forward, push down to the wall, jump into the compound, don't waste any time, and just go balls to the wall and kill this dude and kill him quick. Now, once you kill this dude and kill him quick, you want to go ahead and play the outside of the wall, play the perimeter of the compound. Don't play inside of it because people can come in from both angles and you'll get pinched. All right, so they're fighting. Stop heartbeating. They're fighting. Push. Get yourself to cover. Right now, you're vulnerable from every direction. Everyone can see you. If these guys stop fighting and peek, they will see you too. You need to push down to the hill and get to that wall and play the edge of the perimeter. All right, let me ask you. What are you heartbeating for? Right? Look, 1 sweep is all you need. It's like a Swiffer, right? 1 sweep, all you need. Put the heartbeat away. That's not going to help you. You know where they're at. There's 2 guys right here. What are you heartbeating right now? First off, the heartbeat only goes to about right here, right? The heartbeat only goes to about this wall. There's still 3 enemies left. Assuming there's still 2 guys here, there's an unknown out here. Maybe with a sniper, maybe with a Graw, maybe with a Bruin. Who knows? But you're in a very vulnerable position. Stop slowing your movement speed down out in the open by heartbeating, crouching, or proning. You have no cover around you. You have your heartbeat out. You're at a pure disadvantage. We know where the guy's at, right? We know where he's at. Again, you got to remember, 3 enemies left. You're worrying about 1 guy. You're completely vulnerable to this entire map, right? Practice makes perfect, especially in video games. And if you're not going for kills, you're not really practicing. Think about it this way. This is a 30-minute game, and we've only shot our gun at 8 people, right? If you were to hot drop and die 10 times in the first 2 minutes, that's 10 fights in 20 minutes. So you're still getting in more fights, hot dropping and going for people. You got to practice your gunplay. You got to practice your movement. And the only way you're going to do that, is by getting in fights. All right, now the spot that he's in right now, we can go ahead and GG this. He's going to win this game. He's going to win this game. And good job on the win, by the way. I'm assuming the last guy's here. You're pretty focused on it. I really wasn't paying attention if there was a guy over there or not, but you're pretty focused on it for sure. Yeah, at this point, it's just a waiting game. Boom. There it is. GG's. Yeah, well deserved, my dude. Let's go. Guys, look, I may be a little rough with how I critique people, but again, I'm just trying to coach you. It's nothing personal. We all struggle with this game from time to time, but look, the point remains the same. Look, if I could just give you a little recommendation that will instantly drastically change your gameplay within a day, stop crouch walking, stop laying prone, start scanning with your eyes, not ADSing, and start pushing targets. You're not a terrible shot. Everyone you shot at, you usually killed. Play aggressive, man. Have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in your shot. Remember, if you die, so what? Play another one, right? But look, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope maybe some of you guys can relate to this video and kind of get out of these bad habits as well. Again, these problems aren't just something he's having. This is something I see all the time in Warzone. And again, that's why I'm doing this series, to break everybody out of that habit. Again, there's a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot of room to learn. Everyone's struggling. We're all learning. No player's perfect. Everyone struggles, but hopefully this series can bring everyone together and we can kind of put our 2 cents in all together. But guys, y'all have a good one. Until next time, good luck in Warzone. But guys, look, I really hope this video helps you guys improve your gameplay and break you guys out of the bad habits that we all have. If it did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel today, and check out some more tips and tricks videos right here. Till next time, guys, y'all have a good one and good luck in Warzone.